What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a video that has been kind of in the works for about a year now. Without further ado, let's go. So right off the bat, I know a lot of people that know me personally would probably be upset if I didn't at least mention it, but I'm going to leave World of Warcraft out of this video for the sake of having this video be a top 5, but also because I could do an entire video series on my life with World of Warcraft. Okay, so that's just gonna be out for now. I'm not gonna put that in the video. Obviously, it's one of my favorite games of all time, so surely that could be here somewhere.
I am addicted to the game, but I'm not fully addicted. Like, I can quit whenever I want. This really kicks ass, doesn't it?
But I'm not including it in this list. That being said, number 5 is Dark Alliance 1 and 2. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 are a couple of games that I just distinctly have a lot of fond memories playing with my buddy Trey.
She's gonna cross him.
Oh, whoa! And we used to play these pretend games out when we were little and like run around the neighborhood, and you know, it just have a very magical time, you know, and when we were young and had these little pretend games and stuff, we always wanted to pull from our favorite characters in fantasy and from like books and movies and stuff that we'd seen. Well, one day we were getting kind of tired and bored, and we came back inside and we ate and all that kind of stuff. But by the time we got done, we realized it was a little bit too late to go back outside. And he was like, "Hey, you ever played Dark Alliance?" And I was like, I mean, not unless I've played it with you sometime. And he's like, "All right, we're gonna play it." So we started playing it, and like it just gave us so much more stuff to pretend with and stuff. I just remember loving Cromlech, the dwarf that you get to play in the first game. Awesome games. The second one I have not played as many times as I have played the first one, but I do distinctly remember enjoying that as well. Once I got older and I found both copies, I did play them back to back when I had a lot of extra free time, and I love them. They're good games. I personally have not met anybody that have played them that dislike them, but I have seen like on the internet a lot of people bag on them for the lore inaccuracies or something like that, but I don't care. They're fun games. I had a good time with them. Diablo. So Diablo, I have never played the first one, and if I have, it was so long ago that I don't remember it. However, I did play a little bit of the Diablo 2, and I remember loving Diablo 2. I remember loving the dark aesthetic and the maturity of it, you know, and like the dark, evil, grotesque nature of it. And
I'm in danger!
And it was this thing that was more evil than World of Warcraft, but also just as adventurous and exciting to me, you know. I played it at a time where I was coming up in my maturity, and it was the mature variant that I needed, you know. And I distinctly remember having very good memories of it. And when Diablo 3 came out, I think the only complaint that I really had about it was the fact that they did go that stylistically cartoony route, which I know a lot of the fan base did as well, but I personally liked it. I think it was pretty cool. I didn't like it as much as the darker side of things, of course, but it was a cool take on the Diablo franchise, and I think it's going to be interesting to see them go back to that darker style with this new game. D4 is coming out hopefully here soon, and so far it looks dark, man. It looks dark and evil and grotesque, and that's what I love to see in a Diablo game. I feel like that's what everyone wants to see in a Diablo game, and hopefully we will be getting that here fairly soon. But yeah, a little bit more about Diablo, though. I did play through it a lot. I have beaten Diablo 3. I'm pretty sure I've beaten Diablo 2 at least once. I always main Necromancer.
Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will openly admit to practicing it now that the Mages Guild has banned it. Farewell.
Barbarian. I did in Diablo 3 more recently actually really get into the wizard. I didn't think that I would, but I love playing the wizard. He's just so fun to play. But yeah, that's Diablo. Drakken, the Ancient's Gate. So Drakken, the Ancient's Gate holds a very special place in my gaming life. It goes back probably further than even Dark Alliance, as a matter of fact. I remember going to this place called Planet Video out when I lived on the coast. My mom and dad, we went to this place called Planet Video, and I seen this game over with the PlayStation 2 games, which is what I had at the time, of this warrior chick riding on the back of this dragon holding this sword. And I was immediately enthralled. Immediately. Everything about it was just like, this is so cool, and I'm gonna rent this. This is a game that I'm gonna play. Well, my mom reluctantly said yes, allowed me to rent it, and I went and played it. And I'm telling you right now, the first time I sunk my teeth into that game, it was...
Look at you, been chewing on this shit before you came in with bullshit, motherfucker.
It was just like beyond cool to me. I know it's like, it's got very quirky characters and very like charming aesthetics and stuff like that, and it definitely has that PlayStation 2 feel, maybe even a PlayStation 1 feel, to be honest with you. But all the different weapons and stuff you can use, and the magic abilities, and then like riding around on your friend that's a dragon, like it's just a really cool take on a game, and I really wish that they would do something with it. I would even take a sequel, honestly. It would just be really cool to see that on current gen consoles, and hopefully that is a thing that happens. Hopefully somebody else has the same love for Drakken as I do. But one fond memory that I do have of the game was the first time that I went to the Shadowmire. There's these things called trogs, and like you're sent in there knowing that there's trogs, but it is so dark, and there's water like waist deep, you know, and the trogs will crouch, and all you can see is their glowing eyes. But before you realize that it's not like a particle effect, it's too late. They're already on you to eat you, you know, like you see them come up to you so fast. But like on those old big dinosaur TVs, it's very hard to tell what is, you know, like a particle magic effect or something, and your enemy's glowing eyes coming at you, you know, and it was just so terrifying, and the music behind it is just eerie as hell. I'll probably play a clip here for you. But yeah, Drakken, the Ancient's Gate. The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. So, Skyrim, I think, is probably on a lot of people's top 5 RPG lists, and I think that it gained a lot of traction. I mean, just the Elder Scrolls in general have put out banger after banger after banger. Everybody loved Morrowind. Everybody loved Oblivion. It was only a matter of time before Skyrim came out, and before the game even launched, and we were getting like clips of it and stuff. We already knew.
You already know who it is. It's your boy.
I mean, we already knew it was going to be a big deal. What was it? The tagline, the 11/11/11 is when it came out. It was so cool just to experience Skyrim for the first time, you know, being able to explore Skyrim and all of its wonder, and the graphical update of Oblivion, you know, because like thematically it's the same, you know, but it just carries on this new legacy of a different area, and it was cool to see. It was fun, it was exciting, and I'll be honest with you, the first time I played through it, like, it was cool. Like, the decision making was cool and all that stuff, and like, you're about to get beheaded and everything, and it's exciting. But like, at first you're, man, I'm in a town, and then like I'm inside, and there's got to be more to this, you know. This is jank, and then right when you get out of town, or out of this building, I'm in a cave, this dark, dank cave, and whatnot. It's got to get better than this, right? Well, it did, obviously. You get out of that cave, and you start walking up with your Nord buddy that you met, or your Imperial buddy that you met, and just look out at this overall beautiful landscape of mountains and trees and just foliage, and it's just a really cool breath of fresh air. Even playing it again, you know, several years later, it still holds a very cool aesthetic, you know. But yeah, I always played. I do have a funny story about Skyrim. I remember one time I played, I think as my main character that I first started, and I got level 60, 70 something at this point or whatever, and I joined the companions, but I had killed one of the dragons that you need for a quest from the companions guild before I got the quest, and it was a glitch in the game that I found out later on, unfortunately. But I went to Farkas and got this quest to go kill a dragon, and we get there and the dragon's gone, and it did not respawn. I waited, you know, days and days and days. I went and slept in a bed, you know, like all these things that I tried to do to fix the problem, and the dragon would never respawn. So I was just stuck with Farkas as a follower, an undying follower, because he can't die. And it got so infuriating to me that, like, I'm pretty sure I stopped playing the character altogether because I couldn't find myself deleting the character, but at the same time I couldn't find myself like continuing to play it, because there would be points where Farkas would glitch out and he would be like, I don't like all this standing around. Or he would just like glitch out and be like, hey, don't we got some that you don't we got something to do? Or, you know, just like stupid stutter effects and stuff like that. And it was beyond infuriating. I can't even tell you how many times I unrelenting shouted that motherfucker off the side of the throne of the world in hopes that he just would never find me again. And every single time, he found me again. Guild Wars 2. So Guild Wars 2 is an odd one, and for anybody that knows me personally, like really personally, probably knows that I based my D&D setting that I've been working on for years, I started it because of Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 was like, it came to me in a weird position in my life where I was like out of World of Warcraft sub time, but I still wanted to play an RPG, but I didn't want to resub to WoW, and I don't know. I met a friend of mine, and her husband played Guild Wars 2. Well, they encouraged me to try to get it, and I did eventually, and I brought my computer and stuff over to their house, and we played Guild Wars 2 together for a bit, and it was just so fun. It was just a weird, like, different experience altogether from all the RPGs and the open world games that I've played before, with like the weapon system where you get a whole new set of abilities based on what kind of weapon you're holding, and the synergy that you can have with other people playing different classes. And I remember loving the Asura. The Asura are just so cool, and the lore behind the Asura was just very fascinating to me. And I don't normally go for the smaller, like, gnomish races in games, but I don't know, something about these guys were just really cool, and I liked their lore a lot. So I ended up going to Asura Necromancer, and
may you rest in peace.
He's my main still to this day. I have a stream out of me and some of the boys playing Guild Wars 2. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and peep it. I'll try to put a link somewhere for you. Last but certainly not least, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So this is another one that surprisingly I probably could make an entire video off of, but it deserved a place on this list nonetheless, because it is ranked so high in my like top 5, top 10, top 20 games, you know, almost every single time that I think about it since I've played. I've beaten it, I've started a new game, I have gone and explored a lot of the stuff that I didn't get to explore in my first run. Like, I love Breath of the Wild. It is such a good game. Even if you are not into the combat system, where you're like, you have to find new weapons and stuff like that, and your weapons break and whatnot, just running around gathering is so fun. Like, I don't know how any game could have made me personally enjoy gathering materials and food and herbs and stuff, because I hate doing that in games. I don't have the patience for it. But this game just does it. The cooking is fun. Figuring out different recipes is fun. I personally didn't like the combat at first, but it has definitely grown on me. But overall, you can turn your camera anywhere, and it is a wallpaper, like a perfect HD wallpaper. It is so gorgeous. Link is just an absolute Chad. I mean,
Okay, Link. Light my juice.
everybody loves him. The story is just so cool. The cutscenes are fun. The boss battles are fun. The one disappointing thing I did have to put out there was Calamity Ganon was way too easy to defeat. I think that the Ancients or the Guardians or whatever the hell they were called, I feel like they were a lot harder than Calamity Ganon was, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Easy place on this list. It's just such a good game. If you haven't played it, definitely check it out. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. Definitely try to get your hands on them. If you know a friend that has them, go over and hang out with them, play them. I mean, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance and Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 are both couch co-op, so is Diablo. Do it, man. Just do it. Go play these games. They're so fun, and even if you don't play them, watch some videos on them. They've got some cool stories, you know? Also, don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you all for coming. I hope to see you in the next video, guys, and also make sure you check out the Redbubble. The link is in the description below, as are links to all of our social media pages and such. So make sure you go follow us on there for all the updates and stuff that we have going forward. Peace out.